This is lesson 61, the two-step problems. I'm going to do this in two parts because there are three samples. Anyway, there's your equation. We've been solving equations. 3x plus 2 equals 7. You want to find out what x value makes this true. Okay, and the goal is to get the x term all by itself on one side. So the first thing I do is I get rid of the plus 2. I subtract both sides by 2. Doing that disappears from this side because 2 minus 2 is 0. So I'm left with 3x equals 5. Now I want to get x all by itself. It's multiplied by 3, so I divide both sides by 3. Divide this side by 3 and this side by 3. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Now when I divide both sides by 3, those 3's cancel, and I'm left with x equals 5 over 3. You can leave your answer like that, or you could write it as the mixed number 1 2/3. The next example, 2/3 x minus 1/2 is 10/3. Now they have fractions, but you're doing the exact same technique. Don't get afraid. Don't be afraid. You're a Brookwood girl. 2/3 x, you want to get all by itself, so I add 1/2 to this side. I add 1/2 to this side. That makes that disappear. I'm left with 2/3 x equals 10/3 plus 1/2. Now to do that, you have to get a common denominator of 6. See, 3 and 2. 6 is the smallest number 3 and 2 go into. So I multiply top and bottom by 2, so 20 over 6, and top and bottom by 3, so plus 3, 6. You add the numerators. 20 plus 3 is 23 all over 6. Now I still don't have x all by itself. I have 2/3 with it. So when there's a fraction, this is the key. Remember, when there's a fraction, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal, or the number flipped over. So when you multiply by the reciprocal, that equals 6 over 6, or 1. So there's your x. There's your x all by itself. And I have to multiply this side by 3/2. Well, I notice 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 6 twice. That's called canceling. And I multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom, which gives me 23/4, or 5 3/4.